Yala Sangha, welcome to day 8. This is the third time I've tried to record this session. I don't often have to stop and start again, but I thought there was a seagull blew over my head, and then I noticed there was some swinging in front of the lens. Anyway, we'll get going hopefully now. The beach is beautiful. I spotted it from the cliffs, so I thought I'd come down and record here. Quite often we have to notice how the environment we're practicing in affects our practice. You know, like it's winter at home, so you probably feel a bit stiffer and your body has a little less give than it does in the summer. Don't worry, summer will come back. You'll feel more loose again. In terms of the yamas today, we're looking at one called asteya. And asteya means to not steal, okay? And remember, these aren't moral, these aren't done out of some sense of morality or pleasing God, but they are done so that our minds are more still, our minds are more steady, okay? And it's not just stealing from Tesco's or stealing from Marks and Spencer's if you're more posh. It's just like stealing people's time or stealing from yourself, you know, like, so any aspect of non-stealing that might affect your mind, okay? So we'll start lying on our back with our knees bent, our feet flat. Place your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your heart. And take slow breaths in and slow breaths out. Let your hands rest by your sides. And remember the down dog practice from yesterday. Notice your shoulders and how open they are, okay? So as you inhale, let your arms come up and over. If your arms don't come to the ground, that's okay, obviously. But maybe with more down dog opening, taking your time with that, eventually there will be a bit more opening across the front of your shoulders, the front of your chest. Try that at least one more time. And when you finish, press your feet against the floor and let your hips slowly rise and slowly come down. Try and find the most supportive position for your feet as you rise up and down. Every day trying to fine tune this movement just a little bit more. And then add your arms back into, so inhaling, reaching up and over. For some people, you might find your arms come down from this position because it's narrowed the angle between your shoulder and the ground. And then back down. And try a couple more times. So we're going to do some work in moving the mobility of our back, and then what we'll do is we'll try and do some movement to strengthen our back, okay? So when you're done, bring your feet up off the floor, take your hands around your knees, circle your knees around, walking your hips away from your head. Keeping your feet up off the ground, spread out both arms, and let your knees gently drift from side to side. And then come to the center. Bring one hand round one knee, or both hands round one knee, sorry. Bring your leg up, closer. Take an inhale and exhale your nose towards your knee. Let your head come down. Take your hand outside your knee. And open up with your right arm, using your left hand to bring your right knee across. Bring both knees back to the center and hug them towards you. Again, walk your hips away. Straighten through your right leg. Draw your left knee towards you. Take your right hand outside your left knee. Spread out your left arm and let it come over to the side. And then back to the center, okay? Let's try that one more time either side. So left leg straight. Right leg towards you. Left hand outside your right knee. Take your right arm out and take it across. Back to the center, hugging both knees towards you. Straighten your right leg. Take your right hand outside your left knee and let it come out. And come back to the center and circle your knees around, see how that feels. Circle the opposite way, see how that feels. And then roll out to one side, push into the ground. Come up to a seated position. And from your seated position, shuffle your hips back a wee bit, okay? Bring one hand on your knee. Bring your fingers to the back of your head. Take your elbow a little further back. And then bring your elbow diagonally across in front of your knee. And try this a few more times. Taking it back and coming forward. Taking it back. And maybe let your hand come out to the side. Keep this movement going. Keep a smile in your face, or at least a smirk. And then reach all the way out with your arm and all the way forward. Reaching out again and forward and out again. And then shake off this side. Get really loose. Whatever you need to do. Fingers loose, wrist loose, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder. Roll it out, okay? And then place your hand on your knee. Bring your fingers to the back of your head on the other side and let your elbow drift back and forward. Taking your time with this movement. If you want to let your hand come down off your knee, you can let your hand come down off your knee. And then reach all the way back and all the way beyond. All the way back. Try and find the parts of your body that need this a little bit more. Okay. Reaching all the way back and then shake it off. Shake off through your fingers, through your wrist, through your forearm, through your elbow, through your upper arm, through your shoulder, and then roll through both shoulders, okay? Let your body work gently into this, okay? Good. And then we're going to switch your position to all fours. So bring your hands forward, your knees towards the middle. Lift and lay your hands, lift and lay your knees. And shift your weight a little bit further back. Maybe take your hands a bit further forward and then bring your shoulders forward and let your chest come down between your hands. And then push your hips back towards your heels. Okay. Try that one more time at least. You can do more. The slower you make this movement down, the more you notice where maybe the points in your body that you need to do a little strengthening are, okay? And then come forward. Extend out through your left leg and extend out through your right hand. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, touch underneath. Inhale, go long. Exhale, come underneath. Inhale, go long. Exhale, come underneath. One more time. Inhale, go long. Let your hand come down. Let your knee come down, okay? Maybe move your shoulders from side to side. Maybe interject some cat and cow and some side to side movement. So you're moving your body a little bit like a skipping rope. And then let's try that on the other side. Extend out through your right leg. Extend forward through your left hand. Take an inhale and exhale, touch underneath. Inhale long, lifting, drawing underneath. Long and lifting and underneath. Last one. Inhale long. Let your left hand come down, let your right knee come down. Walk your hands back toward your knees. Give your wrists a wee rest. Maybe shake them off. We're going to come back to all fours and try and reach behind us for our foot, okay? So bring your hands forward again. Reach out with your right leg. Reach forward with your left hand. Turn your thumb face down. Bend your back knee. Sweep your hand back. Find your foot and lift your foot a little higher. If you struggle to do this, lie on your side, your left side, and hold your right foot with your right hand. Try and get your toes a little bit higher, and then maybe touch the ground with your knee. Try that a couple more times. Up, and then gently down, up, and then release, okay? Shake off your arm, shake off your leg, let your hand come down, let your knee come down. Again, side to side movements, moving your body a little bit like a skipping rope. See how that feels. Good, and then let's try it on the other side. So your left leg goes back, your right arm goes out. Take an inhale, reach a little bit further. Bend your back knee, turn your thumb face down, sweep all the way back. Reach for your foot. So I have to do a little more adjustment on that side for whatever reason. Lift your toes a little bit higher, lift your chest. And then let your knee maybe touch the ground. Again, if you struggle to do it lying on your side. Coming up and down, coming up, and then gently release. Give having a good shake off. Take your knees a bit wider, take your feet a bit wider, and let your hips go back. Okay. For some of you, you might stop here. For some of you, your hips might come all the way down between your heels. I'm not so close to the ground, so I'm not going to stay here too long. But if you come comfortably down, you can sit here. If you're like me, you're gently working on it. Just work on it gradually over time. Into Virasana, that posture's called, where you sit with your bum between your feet. Bring your knees back towards the centre. Walk your hands back towards your knees and let your hips rest on your heels, okay? Massage your bum using your heels. Okay, so we're going to lie flat. It's easier to do it today on the sand than it would have been yesterday on the rocks. But let your whole body come flat on the ground. I'll try and keep as close to the mic as possible so you can hear. More than you can see, right? It's kind of difficult to see and do this at the same time. So you might want to watch it and then do it, okay? So bring your whole body flat on the ground. And start with your head resting down. I'm going to keep mine up just so that the microphones can hear. And from there, turn your head to one side that feels comfortable for you. And then lift both arms and your head, looking down. And then turn your head to the other side. And try this a few times. Inhale up. Exhale, turn. Inhale up. Exhale, turn. Okay. Your pace. Good. And whenever you're done with that, bring everything back to the center. This time reach your arms out all the way in front. Reach up with your right leg and also with your left hand. You can let your head rest on the floor. I'm keeping mine up so I can make sure you can hear. And try and get your fingers and your toes as far apart as possible, and then everything a wee bit higher. And then let both come down. Try that on the other side. So your left leg comes up, your right hand comes up. You reach out as far as you can with your toes and your fingers. And then slowly both come down, okay? Try that again one more time on either side. So right leg, left arm. And coming down. Left leg, right arm. And coming down. We're going to do a bit more, but give yourself a moment to rest. So bring your hands back by your ribs, push all the way back. Take your knees wide. Touch your big toes together, let your elbows come to rest, your forehead come to rest. Take slow breaths in and out here. Let everything relax, soften. Really, maybe even move your hips a bit side to side. Let your lower back relax as much as you can. Then lift your head, lift your elbows, walk your hands back towards your knees, okay? We're going to come forward one more time, just to do a little bit more strengthening, okay? So bring your hands forward again, okay? This time lift both arms, both legs, and take your arms wide. Okay? See if you can lift your arms and your chest just a little bit higher. Now you're going to feel this a little bit in your lower back. If it's too painful, we're not looking for pain. Okay? Lifting, holding, breathing, shaking, and then down. Bring your hands again back down by your ribs. Push all the way back. Take your knees wide. Let your elbows come down. Let your forehead come down. Move your hips from side to side. Okay. Lift your head. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Get yourself into a comfortable kneeling position. Okay. See how your back feels. Maybe do a little gentle cat and cow here. Notice what's happening with your back in this position. And then we're going to clasp our hands to our heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, take your fingers forward. Push your palms out. Tuck your chin in. If kneeling's not comfortable, do it in a seated position with something under your hips. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up, slightly back. And exhale, release behind your back. Clasp your hands behind your back and bring them away from your lower back. And let them come down. Shaking off, okay. Releasing, rolling through your shoulders. Okay, try that one more time. Clasping your hands towards your heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, let your fingers go forward. Push your palms out, tuck your chin in. Inhale, lift your hands all the way up, slightly back. And exhale, release. Clasp your hands behind your back. Try not to jut your chin and your chest forward. Let your arms go back, however far they go back. If it's here, or even here, whatever. Let it go back, or maybe much higher than me, okay? Which is fine, it's great too. Oh, it's all great. And then shake off. Roll through your shoulders. Okay. So let's come to our seated position for today. Find the position that makes sense for you. Again, placing anything that might help underneath your hips. And as you listen to the sound of the waves, again, take your focus to your breath. But today, see if you can notice which nostril is slightly more open than the opposite nostril. Now it's possible both feel even, so don't worry if they do. But if you're a bit unsure and you think it might be one, maybe close off one nostril and just breathe through that nostril. And then try on the other side. And again, they might feel even. There's moments in the day where it does feel even. So for me at the moment, there's a subtle difference where the right nostril is slightly more open. Now this is changing through the day, from the right nostril to the left nostril. So if you have a moment today, see if you notice which nostril is more dominant. And then as it changes, the other nostril will probably become more dominant. And then it changes back, and then it changes again, okay? And then bring yourself to rest. Take some time to really lie on your back. To let go. To release. And you can stay here as long as you want. A few years ago in 2019, I went to a workshop with a German teacher, and he said 30 seconds in Shavasana is enough. And I was like, people in Scotland need a little longer than 30 seconds. Okay, that's German efficiency. So take as long as you need today. Whenever you do want to get back up, connect your fingertips, connect the base of your palms. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.